here's the standard advice. The standard advice is you don't sit down and say, what's my meaning? That's too hard. That's really hard. What's my purpose in life? That's really difficult. So instead, you start with the basics. You start with the goals. How much money do you want to make? What do you want your life to look like? Not just how much money do you want to make, but how do you want to make it? What does your income look like? If it's a business, what does your business look like? What does your woman life look like? Not, I need to go get laid, or I want a girlfriend, or I want to get married. That's not enough. What does your woman life look like? If on a scale from 1 to 10, to you would be a 10. Does that mean you have a girlfriend? Does that mean you're just dating casually for a few years? Does that mean you date casually for a few years and then you click over to age 35 or 40 and then you settle down? How do you settle down? Is it a traditional monogamous marriage? Is it something like I've got? What exactly would that look like on a scale of 1 to 10 to you where it's a 10? And you sit down, yes, you take a day where you're feeling good and you go somewhere quiet and you get your laptop out or a tablet or whatever you want and you write out. First thing you do is you delete everything in your life mentally. This is something I learned from one of my mentors, Brian Tracy. It's called zero-based thinking, where you delete everything in your life. So if you're married, if you have a girlfriend, she's gone. You have no wife, no girlfriend, no kids. You have no dating life. You have no money. You have no business. You have no responsibilities. You have no house, no car, no nothing. You have nothing. You start from zero. Now that you have nothing, you bring up a piece of paper or a blank Word document or whatever you want, and you write out what your life would look like if everything was perfect within 3 to 5 years. Perfect within reason. Perfect within reality. What would that look like in every aspect of your life? And you write that out. When I did it, was about 2 pages. And I wrote out every aspect of your life, your physical fitness, all that stuff, both now and long term. Then when you have that, you can start to reread that. And over time, your purpose, you'll get more clarity on your purpose and your meaning from reading that. Well, that document, by the way, is called a vision. Arnold Schwarzenegger talks about this, the vision of your perfect life. That's not a mission. Mission is your meaning, why you work, why you get up every morning. So your vision is my life is perfect if X, Y, and Z. And then from there, you can derive your purpose. And once you have that kind of raw material, you can then pull your purpose out. In The Unchained Man, I've got a whole chapter on how you can kind of match your talents and your abilities and your interests and formulate a mission that way. But a really good way to do this is to start with your vision. What do you want if everything in your life was more or less perfect? And then draw from there. That's the least hard way to do it.
And how do you approach that vision exercise? Are you writing out like in the perfect day, I wake up at this time and my wife kisses me on the cheek and
so
then I go out?
Yeah, I have 2 versions of that. So first you want to set up the mission. You want to write out what your perfect life looks like. Then for your regular motivation, you can either reread that, which I have done, or you can do that where you write out, and I do this too. I have a separate Word document now. My vision is most of what I wrote down. This was, let's see, I was in my early 30s, so I'm 48. So it was about 15 years ago. Just about everything in there is accomplished, if not more, if not better than what I wrote down. My life is actually better than what I wrote down. So what I do now is I have a document where, and I learned this from, I don't remember where I learned this from, but I've tweaked it to get it more into my subconscious. I have a document, a Word document, where it is my typical perfect day once everything is perfect to me in several years. And so, yes, I wake up in the morning, I look out the window and I see this, and it's a picture of whatever city or country I want to live in for one of my homes. And then I turn over and I see her laying next to me, and I had a picture of a woman there for many years. My wife today looks just like the picture of the woman I was looking at for many years. That's how this shit works. It's amazing because this drives the stuff into your subconscious. So then I say we have sex and it's wonderful, and then I get up and I go work out. And then when I go in the bathroom, I look at myself in the mirror and it looks like this. And then I go into my office and my office looks like this. And I have this view of what my office wants, with a desk and the computer and the view of how I want my office to look in this city. And then I run a profit and loss report for one of my businesses, and it looks like this. And I have a fake profit and loss report showing the exact numbers I want. And then I check my investments, and they look like this, and I have all my investments. And then I work for a few hours, and then my wife and I go out, and we go out to dinner at this restaurant, and we go on a boat, and I have the picture of the boat. So it goes through the whole, and then I fly first class to my second home, And so I have pictures and visuals, and as I read this and look at it, I have music playing in the background that is a certain type of music that I like that gets into my subconscious. It's kind of a quiet but interesting music without any lyrics. And so I want all this stuff to be driven deep into my subconscious. And I don't do this as often today. I do this probably once or twice a week now. I used to do it every day or almost every day. What I do now is I do affirmations and a bunch of other stuff every morning. So my procedure tends to change. But yes, once you have your vision, you can translate that into images, which is really important because you just read something. That's one thing. It's better to see images on it. And even if you read something, you have to visualize it in your head. I was doing this since my 20s. I live in a house on the beach with and I would visualize these scenes and drive these into my subconscious. And then you got to get to work. So one real quick thing on this is I don't want to overstate how you can just visualize your goals and they happen. That's the problem with people who are really, really into the secret. You have to work. I work very hard, very, 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 very hard because I like to work. So once you do this, then you get your ass to work and you work hard on all these areas, not just your business life. So you need both.
Yeah. And just personally, I mean, in the past, I'm a skeptical person by nature, and I've encountered these exercises and Think and Grow Rich and all this stuff. And I've been inclined to dismiss it as hippy dippy bullshit kind of thing. But I'll say in my own humble way, and my financial goals are not on the level as yours are right now, but in my own way, every time I've done this exercise and I've set an exact financial goal, I've hit it with startling accuracy. No more, no less. I've hit that on the head. And that has turned me into less of a skeptic when it comes to this kind of exercise. It's very strange.
That means you're taking action too.
Yeah,
that means you're setting the goal and you're taking action, because there's a whole group of guys in the world where they'll do this stuff. They'll visualize and set goals, and then they'll kind of screw around and watch Netflix and go on YouTube and watch YouTube videos, and they won't get to work. So you need both. So that means you did both. I always end up hitting my goals, but I'm usually late on them. Sometimes I'm not. On my financial goals anyway. I'm usually late I hit them late, might be a year and a half late or 6 months late, but I usually hit them. So I have the same experience. But again, you're proof that it works if you put in the work. I'm sure you're working. I'm sure you're working hard and you're doing this on a regular basis. You're not just right? You're not just visualizing this stuff and then kind of go to sleep or good.